Howdy, everybody. Kentucky Ranger, Sissy, and Mama.
Hi. I'm staring at Donald.
Yeah, you gotta stare at the camera.
But I stare at people that talk.
Well, then here, I'm over here.
Okay. If you sit there, I'll stare at it.
Lord have mercy. Well, we're back here again. Gonna do another awesome recipe. So
hopefully it'll be awesome.
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
She's got a real cool one coming up. I told her it would really be cool for Christmas.
What's that?
It's called Cake in a Jar.
Oh,
Bread in a jar.
Is it bread in a jar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Because that makes real good Christmas
That's
gifts.
a different video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyhow, take it away and tell us what it is we're getting ready to experience.
It's called Iron Skillet Cobbler. I use a deep iron skillet that Mom has had for years, but you can use any iron skillet that's got a little bit of depth to it. The one I have is pretty deep. But you can use any fruit that you want. You can use fresh fruit and cook it, or you can use the fruit pie filling in a can. Just play around with it and do what you want with it. That's what I did when I first started making this years ago. And it's really good. My daughter will like this. She's been wanting me to make this for a while now. Anyway, it's real simple. It actually takes longer to bake than it does to throw it together, so
I guess cut Zane into the kitchen. So we'll see y'all in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are in the kitchen. So take it away, sis.
my recipe comes from the Calvary Baptist Church cookbook that my stepdaughter gave me years ago. But I'm sure you can find this recipe all in a lot of places. But you can see the sticker?
Whoops. Sticker.
Yeah, the little smiley face.
My favorite recipe.
My favorite recipe. I've used this a lot.
Oops.
I'll let him get a picture of it.
There we go.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Anyway, first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 375. Then, like I said, you can use either fresh fruit or you can use the canned pie filling, which I've done both. And I've kind of made this my own thing. I've used all different kinds of fruit in this. But I'm just going to peel these apples to show best way to do apples if you want to use apples, which is what I'm using today. I'm going to make an apple cobbler. I'm just going to cut up two.
I guess if you wanted to, you can make this like a pear cobbler or peach cobbler or
Pear, peaches, blackberries, blueberries. I wouldn't doubt that if you wanted to, you could probably even do pumpkin.
yeah, or even mix it. Because I've heard, what was it? I was watching something. They took apples and blueberries.
I'd say you could just do about anything you wanted to. It's no set thing. When I'm doing real fruit, let me set that over there. For this, I usually I peel the apples, and then I use my apple core thing that I've got to do it that way.
That's a handy gadget.
Because this recipe, you don't have to make these real small pieces.
Well, even if you were, you just eliminated quite a few steps using that little tool.
Oh yeah, I love this thing.
I'm going to have to go on Amazon. I'll have a link down at the bottom for those tools, because you can probably buy them anywhere.
I even got one little thing, but I like this one better, but I've got one that I got from Pampered Chef that cores and peels apples. But I usually, if I'm going to cut them, I usually cut them about like that. I'm just going to use this saucepan And when you do that, you just want to put a little bit of water and some butter or margarine. And you want to cook them until they're pretty tender. And you want to add sugar and cinnamon to them. That's all I do to cook them up. And
so this is the real chef way to do it, but she's also going to show us. You got it sitting there on the stove. You can use canned apple pie filling.
I've actually got some apples that Mama's already cooked up.
Yeah, we were going to do a quick split screen or whatever and show these like they were done, but we still will.
But it would have been like a 5-minute video, so.
Yeah, we're just showing how to do everything.
But normally, if I use the canned pie filling, I usually use about 2 cans. And
let's see how big that can is. What is it? Like 8 ounces or?
It's 21.
21 ounces.
Mm-hmm. When I get these cut up, I'll talk more about the recipe itself. But the recipe, it doesn't actually specify the amount of fruit in it. It just talks about, it says to add fruit that you've drained. But I found out a long time ago when I first started making this, I did it like the recipe said, and I drained the fruit that I had made because I'd actually made it from scratch. And I found out when I did that it actually made the cobbler too dry.
Wow.
So I started just using, whether I cook it or whether I use it that's all prepared, I don't drain it. And it makes it more moist that way. But, you know, you can play around with the recipe and see how you like it. Okay, when I'm just doing 2. But I just kind of guess at it, and I just add some margarine or butter. And then I add a little bit of water.
At least what, maybe 2 tablespoons of margarine or butter?
Yeah, probably about the same amount of water, because the fruit will make water anyway. Yeah. And then I just cook this down.
That's another thing, if you're going to make like a cobbler or pie or anything like that, you got to, especially apples, you got to pre-cook them because the moisture, it'll make your pie soggy.
And then I've got one of those that Parmesan.
I guess, I don't know. Am I right or wrong? Or
what's that?
Pie filling, it's good. Especially apples, you have to pre-cook them because if you don't, that'll make the pie too soggy.
Oh yeah, yeah. And what's in here is a mixture of cinnamon and sugar. I like to mix my own. Right. And what this is a Parmesan cheese thing.
Well, it's crazy because, you know, you buy those little jars in the store, the cinnamon sugar. It's so expensive. And it's all it is sugar and cinnamon.
It's all in the world it is.
Yeah.
So you just, and these Parmesan cheese graters for that, or cheese, not graters, but.
Yeah, dispenser.
Yeah. It comes out real good. But anyway, when I do this, I just guess at it and fix it to taste. And it really don't take all that long to cook apples down. But if you're...
What do you call that, render? Is that the correct? I don't know, I'm not a cook.
I don't know, boiling apples.
Well, you're cooking them.
Frying apples.
Yeah,
they're fried apples.
You're not really frying them. Is that, I think, frying is a little different. I don't know.
But you want to just, I cook it on high usually.
Right.
And constantly stirring it to make sure that nothing burns. The reason I'm using a saucepan is I've got my skillet ready for the actual thing. I didn't want to have to use it.
Right.
Normally, I have my ingredients already measured out. This is so simple, it's quick.
Yeah.
I'll measure it out when I get ready to do it. But as those cook, a lot of that water will cook out.
Right. So you cook it till it, I guess that's why they call it a render, because I think you do it till you render most of that water out of it.
Yeah. But if you're pressed for time and you want to make a cobbler for your kids, just get the pie filling in the can.
Just get the can of pie filling.
There, it's
This makes it more homey because it's like I made this from scratch. You know what? You can still use the pie filling. Just don't tell anybody. They don't know the difference.
I never tell Anna
Yeah.
whether I've made it or used that. Now this is really good when it comes out of the oven, because when you mix everything into the skillet, you go and put it in the oven.
Yeah.
And it's really good while it's still hot, and add ice cream to it.
Oh yeah.
Usually when I get it on high, I'll get it to a boil and I'll turn it down. But for time's sake, I'm going to keep it kind of high. Because I'm watching it.
Yeah, you got to really keep an eye on it because you probably burn it real easy.
Yeah, it's really easy to burn. As you can see, it doesn't take long to cook those apples down. We'll just eat these separate.
Yeah.
Since I've already got this other mixed up. I don't know if they can see this. They start to turn colors. When they start to get dark and soft, they're done. So you can tell the difference between the raw ones and the cooked ones. These were pretty ripe apples to begin with.
Yeah.
So the real ripe apples don't take long to cook.
Smells awful good.
These are just about done already. I'm gonna move that over off of the. Can they see how thick that's getting? When it starts getting done, that water and that sugar and everything, it starts thickening up. So you can just kind of play with the recipe and see how much fruit you want in it.
Right.
But now, where it says to drain it, if you want a more moist cobbler, you can either drain it a little, or just use it all.
Right.
And most of the time, I don't even drain it.
Wow. Yeah, this is pretty.
That's actually done. I'm gonna move that off of the thing so I can get all this other ready. I'll just leave that there for a minute. Let me get a bowl real quick.
You can see it's just kind of nice golden brown. It smells so good.
Now we're gonna get to the other part. Okay, like I said before, Mama had already made up some apples from what we had left. So I'm gonna use these, plus I'm gonna add some. Because normally I use about 2 cans of these when I'm fixing this.
Yeah, that'd be probably, it's a little more 2 can equivalent, because that bowl of apples is a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is, it's not an exact thing. You don't have to use exactly.
No. What I'll do is when I put it in here, I'll just kind of stir it and eye it up. That's what I normally do anyway.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you combine in a bowl 1.5 cups of self-rising flour. Like I said, normally I have these already done, but since there's not much to it, I just decided to do it at the time. Then you want to add 1/2 cup of sugar. pinch of salt. About that much salt. And 1 cup of milk. Now usually when I get to about this part, what you want to do, it's kind of hot. What you want to do is melt 1 stick of butter, which is the equivalent of 8 tablespoons. So you can do it either way. Yeah, you want to melt this in the skillet until it's bubbly. So you want to get it pretty hot. So anyway, I come back over here and I mix the milk into this. Oven just got
just
done.
preheated, so it's all coming together here.
So I'll just hold this and do it. It's almost like mixing flour up for dumplings. Because it's about the same thickness as dumplings would be. As you can see, it doesn't take that long for that butter to get hot. Now when the butter,
Just want that, just kind of not mixing a whole lot, just before you try mixing it well.
just mix it well until it's all combined. Then when this butter is completely melted, then you want to turn the heat off.
Oh, that's a lot of butter.
You can use margarine too. I use real butter in there.
Yeah. Oh, it's nothing like real butter.
Okay. Now you can see that's all hot and bubbly and melted. So you come over here and turn the heat off. Then you want to add your flour ingredients to that. Now, you want to start adding your fruit. Can they see how thick that? See, that's been sitting in the refrigerator since yesterday. So that's pretty thick. Syrupy. I might add just a little bit of this, not much. I can combine this with that stuff, we can eat it.
Yeah.
That's about right. I don't know if they can see that. See how you can see how thick that is. But you just stir that all together and it's not going to look like real mixed or anything. It's just going to kind of, you know, look clumpy and stuff. But just kind of mix it together.
Get it combined. You don't really want to mix it, just get it combined.
So when you do that, you just kind of want to pat it back out like that. And the last thing you're going to do, you're going to cover the top with the cinnamon and sugar mixture. And then you're going to stick that in the oven until it's golden brown. About 35 minutes is what I figured. Yeah. The book didn't give a specific time. It says mix well and pour into skillet of hot butter. Add fruit of your choice, drained, but like I said, it's your choice whether you want to drain it or not. Sprinkle the top with brown sugar and cinnamon. Bake at 375 until brown. You may use fresh or canned fruit. Amounts vary according to size of skillet. Use enough to fill the skillet. So I figured it takes about 35 minutes to bake it.
I guess we will see everyone here and right at about a half an hour. By the magic of video editing, you all won't have to wait the whole half an hour.
There we go.
Whoops.
And Mama's stove.
There we go. All right.
Anyway,
So what's
it's really easy to make. I'm not good at making stuff on camera.
So we'll see y'all back here in about 35 minutes.
See you then.
See you then.
A few moments later.
Okay, here we are back in the kitchen.
The timer just went off. It was 35 minutes. I had it set and I tested it with toothpick,
Right.
and it's done. So it does take around 35 minutes on 375.
The big reveal.
As you can see, even with the deep skillet, it rises pretty good.
Now, for people who might not know the toothpick test, wait, before you do that, what is the toothpick test?
You just want to insert it into the dough part, just to make sure that the dough's not.
Yeah, dough should
Doughy.
stick to it.
Yeah, it should come out clean.
Okay. Just in case some people might not want a toothpick, what do you mean toothpick?
Anyway, you don't have to cut this any particular way. Let me take out some so they can see it.
Why don't you
See?
take it out like a yes, yeah, fluffy.
Now see how moist that is?
Yeah.
Now that was without draining anything. It was quite a
If
bit
you
of
drained
liquid.
It would have been really dry.
It was the very first time I ever made this. I mean, it was just too dry.
One thing you probably do is, now that you put it in there, sprinkle a little of that to kind of, whoops, dress it up for the table. Yeah, there we go.
There you go. I'm gonna give
Oh, cool.
Ranger the first taste.
The first.
You want a spoon or a fork?
It don't matter.
You use a spoon. You can get more in your mouth.
Look at that.
Want me to hold it for you?
Ooh, that looks good. Let's put it on the stove. That way I can get a screenshot for the. There we go. Ta-da! Ooh, look at that. That looks so good. Okay, screenshot. Oh, this is gonna be lava hot.
Hold that.
Here we go.
I don't have any ice cream, but that's really
Oh
good.
yeah,
with
that
ice
would be
cream.
good with ice cream.
Got Cool Whip.
Mm.
Could put Cool Whip
Oh,
on.
I put. Oh, you taste the butter and everything, the cinnamon. That is so good.
I made this one time with blackberries. I made a blackberry cobbler out of it. That's really good
That is so
too.
good. In fact, let's put the skillet over here. That might be a better thumbnail for or whatever for the thumbnail. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. It is so yummy. Maybe a pie. There we go. Yeah.
I'm sure
Photo shoot.
you could use any kind of a deep skillet of any kind that you can put in the oven.
Yeah, with cast iron, it's just
But I love my
Some-
cast
yeah.
iron skillets.
something about cast iron. It just, I guess the heat, what do they call it? The heat transference or whatever.
Yeah. There's nothing like cornbread in an
Oh yeah.
iron skillet.
So anyhow, hope y'all enjoyed this. The next week we're actually going to have an interview. So. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Don't go off the air yet.
What?
Mama! You gotta come here.
What's Mama? What's the matter? Uh-oh.
This is supposed to be Mondays with Mama.
Yeah. So let's get Mama in there. Here, try some, Mama.
Okay.
You want that or you want...
Oh, I ain't got no jerk.
No.
Here, step back into the light. Ain't that good?
Mm.
That's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Kids love it.
Jimbo
Jimbo
says,
wants
hey.
some.
Oh, I love it.
Look at that tail. She
Mm.
says, hey, where's mine?
I want some milk on mine.
Yeah, milk, ice cream.
I ain't got no ice
So
cream.
anyhow, yeah, hopefully I think we're going to do an interview next week, unless the snow or something prevents it. Plus you got a couple more recipes before Christmas.
Yeah, let me show them this. Hopefully, here it is. Before Christmas, if we get a chance. I made these up several years ago and I just had one left because I was handing them out. It's bread in a jar recipe for gift giving.
Oh, cool.
You use wide mouth mason jars and you mix it up and you put them in the oven and bake it, and then you seal them and they'll last about a year on the shelf.
Oh, cool.
So you can either give them out for gifts, or if you want to make like the pumpkin bread or whatever, you know, and you don't want to, you can wait until after the holiday blahs of eating too much food and you'll still have your bread.
Yeah. So what do you think, Mama?
Mm.
That's so good.
I'm like that guy on TV. It's so good.
So anyhow, God bless everybody, and we're still keeping everybody in our prayers. And whatever happens next week, we'll figure it out. We might do a double Mondays with Mom, so we can get that recipe in. So we'll do the interview and maybe tag that on too, because that won't take long. It just show how to make, mix it up and bake it. So anyhow, God bless everybody, and we'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.